conversation. Not knowing is a terrible thing.
Hi, my name is Susan Galpesco, and the one thing I would like you to know is something that I didn't know a year ago, and that is that rights aren't forever. Rights have to be protected. And I apologize to those who are fans of our current president, but I have learned in the course of this last year that a lot of things that are important to me and that I have helped defend through the ACLU and other organizations and that I believe in as a judge, a retired judge, those things have been fought for and they have been earned, but they can be lost. So we have to keep our eyes open, be vigilant, and Lisa Rochester, don't be frustrated, be motivated.
The one thing that I want you to know is that as women, you have to be direct and ask for what you want. So I need 1,000 girls in school by October, so every girl collective, it's $11 a month, so I need your help to do that. But tell people what you need and be clear about it. The one thing that I'd like you to know is that if you're going after your dream or taking a big risk, embrace failure. Failure can be your best friend. And I've failed so many times, and I've learned a lot from every failure. So learn to embrace failure and be comfortable with it. Also, it's going to be fast, I don't have as much to say. I say ditto, 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 ditto. But as both a university professor who had different ceilings I had to break through, and through the ranks of state rep, senator, at the state level, and now lieutenant governor, there is different levels of power and all. We're going to have questions, I'm sure, in a minute. And a couple things just come to mind. If we have one or two words or 1 minute lines, I am thinking 20 years from now, as women and men in the audience, the one thing I always say to folks around me is, ask that question, are you going to regret not doing what you had before you? Because it's very complacent to stay where you are, and women often stay where you are. If I had listened to some of the folks around me, I never would have run for office. Am I going to regret? So ask yourself, am I going to regret what I'm doing today, or am I going to regret what I did not do? So you don't want to have that regret. And then the only other final thing is, I'm a big fan of poetry and all. Maya Angelou, the one comment I would say is, when I'm out with individuals in the community as an elected official, people will not remember what I said, they will not remember what I did, but what will they remember? How I made them feel. And that you will use in your career, obviously, as you progress. So, my two little lines. It still works. That's amazing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask my hopefully one question. I've got Twitter open, so if you have a question for any or all of these ladies, please hashtag Millennial Summit so that it will hopefully get to my phone, and those will be the questions that I ask, because I know my answers, but I want to know your questions. So the question I'm going to ask is kind of a big overarching question. It's not for any one person. Anybody can feel free to take this. What trials and tribulations have you encountered being a woman in a power position, and how did you overcome them?
Since the judge has the mic.
The judge has the mic.
Hot potato. Come on, judge.
I'll start since I was last. We'll do that. But I think that some of the struggles I faced as a woman running for office, I'm not going to talk about my career in academia right now. We have different biases. I was actually on a panel in New York yesterday, and we were talking about women, and we are held to a different standard. You think about Hillary and the pantsuit. As women, people do judge what we wear and how we appear. And so as young women and millennials, using your appearance, obviously, to one tool as an avenue, but the other is hooking up with the ability, when you're given a challenge from someone, go around and over it and through that person. People often portray their negativity onto you, and I had that often in my career, particularly when I first started to run. Oh, you'll never make it. You're abandoning your child. How dare you do this? And the first door I knocked at, oh, how nice you're helping your husband run for office. So you have to work through it and over it and understand that relationship. People go around people and figure out your strategy. If you go to the next question, because we have at least one. Well, I'll take a stab at it. There were a few. I started out my career working as a financial analyst for a variety of larger companies, and I looked at the landscape. First of all, a couple little experiences. One is I had a bit of a weight problem. I was like 10 or 20 pounds overweight. And I remember my boss's boss sitting down with me and saying, and he was quite a chunky guy himself, and he told me that I needed to lose weight and wear more suits in order to get ahead. And I was kind of staring because like the flesh was coming out from between his buttons on his shirt. And he might have noticed that. I wasn't trying to be obvious. It was just like it was hard to miss. And he said, yeah, I could probably lose a few pounds too, but of course unspoken is it really doesn't matter if I lose weight, but it does for you. And I mean all kinds of things. I mean, I was asked in interviews, why should we hire you if you're just going to go off and get married and have children? And of course I needed the job, so I'd say, hey, I'm never getting married or having children. It's all about my career. Oh, it is. You know, I just said whatever I had to do to get the job. But I looked at that landscape and I thought, you know, working in this company at this era, in the early 80s, I would have to be 3 times better in order to get half as far. The best I could hope for, at least the way I saw it, was be a middle manager. So I thought, well, if I'm going to be 3 times better, I might as well do my own thing. And a seed was planted. And, you know, some years after that, I did my own thing. So, a trial and tribulation, it turned into something good.
I'll go fast, but mine would just be something recently that I've been learning is like I am emotional, and one of my board members who is head of community at Instagram, she's also female, and I was sharing something with her about being an emotional, being a leader of we have more than 80 total staff too, both in Liberia and the United States, mostly Liberians in Liberia, but she said what's wrong with that? And it reminded me that you can use your emotions and should use your emotions to be a great leader, and being vulnerable and authentic isn't a weakness, and that's actually a strength. She said your team will then recognize that they too don't have to pretend that they have it all figured out. If you model that for them, then they'll feel comfortable coming to you when they don't have all the answers, and you'll get to your destination a lot faster.
Years ago, I heard a slogan that 80% of success was just showing up. And it's attributed to Woody Allen, but if you Google it, it's attributed to a lot of people. And I believe that there's wisdom in that. A lot of my life, I've just shown up. And it was a little different in the law because Delaware was the last state in the Union to admit women to the bar. And I married a chemist. I lived in California. He got a job with DuPont. We came to Delaware. I had no idea. And suddenly I'm entering a legal community where there's just a whole lot of head scratching and not a great deal of acceptance of women lawyers. But I sort of just kept showing up. People got used to me, and it didn't seem so bad. And over time, because most of the rest of the country had moved ahead, I think that there was a little bit of a social pressure, a peer kind of feeling that there weren't any women in very many places in the legal community in Delaware. And so I had shown up enough that people knew I existed, and opportunities came my way, and I was extremely fortunate. And I was lucky enough to practice law with a man who subsequently became the governor, Mike Castle. And so I don't think it was as difficult for him to appoint me as it might have been to appoint somebody you didn't know. But show up. I really recommend it. Just go, when you don't want to go to that one more meeting, you don't want to go to that one more event, be around, let people know who you are, and those moments can create opportunities. Thanks.
So to know of my trials and tribulations, you have to know my story. I was young once, gosh, I forget that. I was 28 when I packed my life in 2 suitcases. With a husband and a 4-year-old, I uprooted myself from India, and smack in the middle of nowhere, Newark, Delaware, I plant my roots. So everything is foreign to me. I have the language barrier. I drive on the wrong side of the road. Until I came to the US, I didn't know how to cook, I didn't know how to clean, I didn't know how to talk on the phone, I didn't know how to use an ATM machine, for crying out loud. Everything was foreign to me. So I learned things very quickly, thank God. And then I'm 34 and I'm given this job of running the Delaware Community Reinvestment Action Council. And when I started in this job, my job was to take on the most powerful institutions in the state of Delaware, banking community. So when banks merged, I was the youngest, the only female, a foreigner that still hasn't lost her accent. I was not really, taken seriously. So, in the words of Beyonce, I work hard, I grind, and I own it. It has been a tough labor of love all these years. It's been 25 long years, and they don't seem long at all. Find your passion, just do it.
Thank you, ladies. All right, first question from the audience, very nice. Gretchen Ciani asks, Wonder Woman, how did you feel when you faced failure, and what impetuous helped you overcome that failure?
Gosh, I have learned to fail better every single day. Gosh, there's so many things that I end up realizing doing, and then say, I failed at this. The first time I took the Delaware bar, I failed. I called my husband and I said, gosh, I am a failure. My husband says, oh no, you aren't. You just failed an exam. Next time you'll pass it. And yeah, I passed it the next time.
I think I can tell this story and keep myself together. The biggest failure of my life was when my first son died. And you have to just keep going. You can't quit.
And that's what I was going to say, is like, you force yourself to put one foot in front of the other. I learned a lot from Liberians about failure in a sense, and I feel like people always talk about how resilient Liberians are. And that word sometimes makes me mad because they don't have a choice. It's like you are resilient or you die for a lot of the people, and not all Liberians, but in the communities where we work. So you have to be resilient or you don't make it.
So failure. I feel like I failed so many things all of my life, but I wouldn't change a thing. I failed out of engineering in college, and I graduated in chemistry with the lowest grade point average of anyone in my class. And yeah, 2.8 was pretty awesome. And then I went on as a chemist to fail as a technician, a lab technician, and then I went back to school, got my MBA, and I had a couple of jobs, and although technically I wasn't fired, I would hardly call my careers there as lackluster. I would call them lackluster. And then I went on to start like 3 or 4 businesses and either failed or abandoned all of those. And the final injustice, I guess, was my husband's business partner fired me after just 6 months on the job. So it really wasn't until Brouhaha that I found some measure of success, and I loved the concept, and I opened it, and things were going great. I grew, and it was a great ride. But then I crashed and burned around 2000 when 9/11 happened, and some management mistakes, and I ended up being $3 million in debt and near bankruptcy. And so I've had a lot lot of failures and near failures. And I think we all, anyone who goes after big dreams are going to have it. It's inevitable. But as you said, persistence is the key. It's you get punched, knocked down on the ground, and you get back up and you just keep going. And I love quotes too, so I'll just end with a quote. Churchill always said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. If you're going after something big that you really believe in, and failure is not an option, you just continue.
Wow, isn't that pretty cool? Very good. We all love Glenn Maha, by the way. I have to say, right? University, but we don't know what we do without her. Wow. Right? Oh, wow. What great quotes. She just made me think of our Vice President, maybe someday President Joe Biden, his famous quote, which is always, it's not just how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get up. And I think that's the theme here. Nothing more powerful, though, than a mother in the loss of her child. Susan, that's it at all. You can retreat or move forward. And I think that's the theme I heard today here is that for myself, I failed a lot of different times, and I want to thank the panelists for being honest. Part of us communicating with each other is being honest. A lot of times people are afraid of stigma. They're afraid to share things about depression, anxiety in their life. And I think it's really important as women that we talk about those things and those challenges that we have. I know I was 9.5 months pregnant when I went into the interview. I was a finalist of 9 positions out of 12 in the United States for a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. I went into a room of a bunch of older white men, 9.5 months pregnant. Guess what happened? I didn't make the fellowship. And we did learn later, probably a little discrimination happened. But guess what? Out of that experience, I was living in Virginia, had my heart set on working. I was going to work with Al Gore. Didn't happen. Guess what happened? I came back to Delaware. And I got involved, and here I am, running through, making much more systems change and much more positive outcome. There are many failures. First time I ran for office, do you think I won? No. I gave my life to that campaign. I lost by absentee ballots. But the day after, I pulled my pants up, went right back, went out there. And I think that's what you've heard from each of us here, the stick-to-itiveness. It's not so many times you get knocked down, and what you said with the Churchill quote is just perfect. So stick at it, have big dreams, and don't let anybody hold you down. There'll be days that'll be tougher than others, but you just stick to it.
I feel so uplifted. I hope you guys understand. I'm like, yeah, come on, change the world. Speaking of, I'm sorry I'm going to mispronounce your name, but I'm going to say it anyway. Young Song Spivey writes, what kind of programs or sessions do you wish or hope to see in Delaware and perhaps in the world to empower, promote, and educate female entrepreneurs and women in general to get them set for success? Since we're in policy, let's keep going.
This is my life. We'll go back and forth. In the policy side, I think you've heard today from our leaders, my good friend Lisa up in Rochester, you're hearing in the panels in the other room, you've heard from the mayor and others, and I know our lady on the end has some great ideas with finance and banking. I think we have to put programs and policies in place from the time we're young. If you all don't mentor young women where you work, don't bite each other's hands. Don't fight and claw. We empower. You get so many more things accomplished when we work together is important. And instilling that in a young age. So if you have in your employment sectors the opportunity to work with young women at risk in our schools, please do so. I think that's really important for empowerment and to move forward. I can just go on and talk about that. But from a policy perspective, we do have our Department of Labor that was here earlier as our cabinet secretary. We're putting in place, I know Governor Carney will want me to mention, a lot of our work around minority and women-owned business and making sure you're innovators and creative. And so, anything we can do to structure policy that helps young women. And a lot of legislative packages we've done this year, and some of you championed it with ERA and other rights for women. Really important stuff. So get involved, be engaged, help us to come up with better ideas. Don't be shy. Tell us what you need.
All right, so it is perfect that it followed that question about failure. What is business? You've tried something. And what is failure? You tried something. If you have no failure, you tried nothing at all. So give it a try. In terms of entrepreneurial spirit, you are born with it. And all these panels that I've attended millennials that I've talked to and heard, they are entrepreneurial at their core. So you are already trying. But the most important thing about a business is it is hard work. And I go back to Beyonce. It's reported that for Coachella, she practiced 11-hour days. Now she is pretty darned good. So if you want to do something, get ahead, you have to stand out. For me, it's easy. I got to do nothing to stand out. I stick out like a sore thumb. You have to follow up. It's work. In my instance, I knew nothing about nothing. And I knew that I didn't know anything. So I followed up with learning. And this is before Microsoft was launched. Now all of you have everything in the palm of your hands. You have answers right there. So ask the questions, start the conversation. Look around. You don't need to look up to find a mentor or somebody to ask a question. You can look down and find someone younger than you. In fact, I look to my team of staff to help me every step of the way. There are financial resources available in our great state. Use them wisely. There is tremendous assistance. The not-for-profit world is amazing. And again, Google and you'll find the answers. So help is there. If you are willing to take the risk, step out of your shelf and comfort zone, then we are here for you.
Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk about the Equal Rights Movement. The curious thing is that in the 1970s, 1972, the United States Congress passed the Equal Rights Amendment. And after Congress passes a law, in order for it to become a constitutional amendment, it has to be ratified by a certain number of states. And when the Equal Rights Amendment was first passed, a lot of states jumped on board and there was great momentum, and Delaware was the third state only because of the time zone Hawaii beat us, and New Hampshire went into session before we did, and so we were the third even though we wanted to be the first. And the point is that the spirit was there. And then it all got interrupted. And the Equal Rights Amendment never got the necessary votes, the 36 state ratifications that were necessary. And then the war in Vietnam came along, and there was a shift in the national attention. And so we in Delaware don't have an Equal Rights Amendment, but many states at the time they ratified the federal amendment also enacted a state Equal Rights Amendment for reasons that I don't know. That didn't happen in Delaware, and it could very well be that it was considered unnecessary, that if you had a federal amendment, you really might not need a state amendment. Well, we are all these years later still looking to have an Equal Rights Amendment, and in Delaware, our Constitution requires that an Equal Rights Amendment be passed in 2 different sessions of the legislature. Our sessions are 2 years. So we, with the help of the Lieutenant Governor and Bethany, you are Bethany Hallmark, Stephanie Hansen, and Representative Longhurst, and a lot of other people, we got it done this past June, the first leg of it. It has to go back to our legislature, and I'm told that it's going to be presented again in January, but it has to be repassed by a different session, and that means some of the people will be different. There is an election, so some of those positions are actually a fairly large number of positions that are going to be elected in November of this year. So the point is that we in Delaware don't have an Equal Rights Amendment, but we're halfway there. And just keep it in mind, because we don't know who the voters are going to be, because we don't know who's going to be in the legislature. We obviously know who some of them will be, and we sure miss having the Lieutenant Governor in the Senate, but we have an opportunity. So how does this relate to your question about entrepreneurship? We need a level playing field. You know, if you're going to be successful, it's a whole lot easier if you're building on a level playing field. And the Equal Rights Amendment is one way we can ensure that that's the case in Delaware.
Okay. Sam says, watch, has a really long question, but the final part of the question is, what do you wish you knew as a 24-year-old? Take that any way you like.
Well, I'm going to go back to the failure thing. I guess because I grew up with kind of a perfectionist mom, and I grew up in Wilmington in the 70s, which was a company town, a very constrained, a place that had a hierarchy. And I was a very entrepreneurial child. I actually put on theatrical productions, and I taught guitar. I had my own guitar school. But when it came down to it, and I was, 17, 18 years old, the narrative in Wilmington at that time, where DuPont Company was, the company, was for a woman growing up then, was to go to college and meet your husband there, major in something practical in case you didn't find that husband, but it was to get married and have children. And so I kind of played along for, nearly 2 decades. I didn't find a husband in college, of course, I failed at that too. I was engaged for 24 hours, and okay, that didn't work out. But I did major in something practical, which I absolutely hated, which was chemistry, because I knew I could get a job. And then I was terrible at the job, and I did practical things. I started a financial planning business because I thought I'd make money at that. It was practical. And I really didn't stop and think about what I really wanted, what it was I wanted to do. It took way too long. Don't take that long. Really think about that. And I think the millennial women are way more in tune. They don't have as much of that baggage. But it took me too long to figure that out. So I think I would have told my 24-year-old self, just don't play it so safe. Go big. And take the fallout, let the fallout happen.
I'll do something. What I think at 24, I was a little different. I was raised on a farm in Sussex with a grandmom who had to quit school in the 8th grade. She was the smartest woman I ever knew. And so she said education. Education's important, and she taught me opposite of you, which is interesting because in that generation, never depend on a man. but having had that experience, I would say, I think we all have probably that same experience. Do what gets you up in the morning, you're passionate about. You gotta pay the bills, right? So, we're not telling you to run out and quit your job and change everything this moment, but do get in that mode of knowing life is a journey, and there was going to be ups and downs, peaks and valleys. I had to get a plug in as a professor of nursing. Man, take care of yourselves too. Take care of yourselves. Eat right, do the things that you can. I know it sounds cliche. You're like, It really does matter. I have more energy than all my 20-year-old students. You know why? Because I do those certain health things that I can do to take care of myself. So it's important that you also invest in yourselves. But I have to say, be nice to each other. Support one another. I think your generation is so much better at that. Mine, and unfortunately some others, didn't have that, a little more cutthroat. Doesn't get you anywhere. So again, taking care of yourselves, taking care of one another really does make a difference. That's like 10 years ago for me, but I would say, don't drink 36. But I think not taking things too personal. There's aspects of human nature that are at play, especially as you become more successful, and there's jealousy, there's all these different cutthroat things that she's talking about, and I think I wasted a lot of energy over the last 12 years wishing that people liked me more. It's interesting. Social media. People will describe me as someone who doesn't really care what other people think, but I do. And I wasted a lot of energy and time wishing that this group of people accepted me or liked me, or this group, and it's not personal to you. It's just like human nature. The problem, a lot of times people don't like you because you're successful, or they're jealous of you, and just to love in those times, Mother Teresa says, if you judge people, there's no
love them, and just to try your best to love and let go, and really remain focused on what you're trying to achieve, and not just sit home and think about it too much.
Well, I'm quite a bit beyond 24, and I can tell you, I wish I'd bought stock in Apple. See, my world could be different today. But seriously, I think embracing change is probably the thing that I didn't understand. That if you're stuck in, there was a book called Dress for Success when I was just finishing college, and it was telling all these women who wanted to be taken seriously how we should wear our blue suits and our white blouses, and how to conform, how to blend. And you got to shake off a lot of that stuff as you get older and wiser. And I think embracing change, which certainly you have done, and I know all of you have done, just recognizing some of the stuff you learned just doesn't matter anymore. When I decided to go to law school, I called my mom. I was married, and I said, Mom, I think I'm going to take the LSAT. I think I want to go to law school. And she says, why? You've got a nice husband. He's got a good job. I mean, she was baffled. And I said, Mom, let me just see how this works out. And so I knew that I was entering a phase of my life that was different than many women, but I grew up in California. California had an ERA 140 years ago, and it was built into the first Constitution they wrote. And so I didn't grow up with the notion that I couldn't do as many things as I encountered when I got here. But I think it was just important for me to just say, well, all right, I don't have a lot of support here, but I always had the support of a wonderful husband. And when it came to my professional choices, when it came to raising the kids, he still complains that I was always traveling when one of them had a fever. I mean, like 2 days ago, it came up again. I mean, he has to let go of it. But the point is, we shared our responsibilities for our kids. And that was a little unusual back in those days as well, but embrace change.
I think that lawyer thing worked out for you.
So very quickly, mine is a weird story. Like riches to rags to riches in 2 years story. So when I said I didn't know how to clean, how to cook, how to drive a car, of course, because I had a chauffeur, I had a cook, I had a gardener, everything. So when I came here with less than $1,000, struggling to make ends meet, I was already 28, but we'll pretend it was 24. If I had known back then that at 60 I will become a millionaire, so I have only 2 years and I'm not adopting any of you, but it was going to be hard work, really managing money. So my one advice to women has always been, man is not a plan. Plan your money wisely, and you too will be a millionaire. You don't have to wait to be 60 to get there.
There's so many good quotes coming out of these mouths right now. It's fantastic. All right, to Elizabeth. How did you get inspired to start a coffee company?
Well, as I was doing all these other jobs that I wasn't excited about, one of the things that kind of started with me is I had this job as an accounting clerk at some chemical company, and it was so boring that I was forced to drink the coffee from the vending machine down the hall. And it was one of those machines that they had that did chicken soup and hot chocolate and really bad coffee. It was terrible, but it gave me this buzz. And I could stay awake, and I really loved that buzz. And so I was living in Philly at the time, and I started with a friend going around and sampling cappuccinos at the Italian restaurants, because coffee was starting to become kind of a thing. And this was in the early 80s before Starbucks. And then when Starbucks came around, I was living in Chicago, and I remember being very excited about Starbucks and very excited about going. Basically what loved to do was hang out in coffee shops and eat dessert and read magazines. That was my dream. And in fact, people would say, because I was in between jobs, and people would say, I failed at a number of things. They said, well, Elisa, do what you love. Everyone says, find your passion, do what you love. What do you love to do? And I said, I'd like to drink coffee, eat dessert, and read magazines. But who is going to pay me to do that? And the aha moment came when I went to Italy, when I'd just been fired by my husband's business partner, and this was 1993. And I took this trip to Italy, and everything kind of came together. And because it was there that I saw what the quintessential coffee experience was about. And I fell in love. And I came back from that trip, and I sat down to write my business plan, and it wrote itself. And 6 months later, I opened that first cafe in Greenville. And 25 years later, we have 10 cafes, and we've been through a lot, ups and downs, but I wouldn't change a thing, because at the core, this is what I love.
That's fantastic. All right, I think we probably have time for one more group question. So Christine Snow wants to know, what do you do for yourself or in your free time that helps maintain your work-life balance? Good question.
I drink wine.
Drink coffee and have dessert. I drink your coffee, okay? I drink your coffee. We do. I obviously am into health, so I have to say what I do a lot for fun is probably not fun for everyone, but I do love exercise and fitness, and I wish I could say I do all this other reading, but because in my other life, because I am a scientist and a researcher and a nursing faculty and a public policy faculty, I do all that reading. So I probably, if I ever get to retire, I'll do more reading then. But right now, my fun is fitness.
Work-life balance. I walk. I love walking. And I walk, by the way, the health thing, I take everything you said. That is really, really important. But for me, the biggest stress reliever is walking, because that's where it's sort of my meditation. That's what I do.
Walking too, let's go for a walk. Okay. River walk. We're all going to go for a walk now. I love these women.
I'm moving to Delaware.
I have so much fun. I love riding my bike in the city. I love decorating. I like to travel to new places. Even though I travel for work, I go to Liberia, and then I'm in San Francisco, New York City, and London, and I feel like I'm only in those places, and I don't go to see places. I'm in meetings. So seeing new places and seeing the world from different perspectives is a lot of fun. And then of course time with your girlfriends, like not talking about anything meaningful at all, is one of my favorites.
Well, I'm retired, which is very cool. I recommend it. It's funny because I was on the bench and I had a 12-year appointment, then I had another 12-year appointment, and at 10 years into the second 12, I was old enough to retire. And I thought, well, it's hard to leave a position, especially a position of power. But I said to myself, I don't want to stay because I'm afraid to leave. I don't want to stay because I don't know what to do with myself. I mean, it's just such an incredible privilege to be able to control your own time and actually have an income. So, but before I was retired,